Эй, йоу, дорогие мои друзья, с вами Мунлайт, и добро пожаловать на стрим по Genshin Impact. Будем сегодня продолжать наши лютые приключения. Прорвемся все-таки в Инадзуму, я надеюсь на это. Я очень на это надеюсь. Игра мне, конечно, с утра показала большой такой длинный болт, примерно на 24. И сказала нет. Но я все-таки надеюсь, что будет да. В общем, дорогие мои друзья, приветствую, Киря. Приветствую, Андрей, Тикати. Добро пожаловать. Устраиваемся. Поудобнее. Достаем чаек, кофеёк, какао, вкусняшки. А мы потихонечку начинаем. Ну и по традиции уже отключаем музыку. Она нам не нужна, как вы знаете. И включаем, собственно, игру. В этот раз я подготовился, я запустил ее заранее. В общем, зашел я сегодня с утра, ежики поделать, там все дела. А мне игра. На! Вот тебе, говорят, квест там с батей продолжение. Вот тебе там квест с какими-то датчиками, которые ты в разломе выставлял. Иди, работай. Я такой, да ну ёпт. Да ну за что? Но нет. Поэтому сейчас мы попремся опять на гору. Как я понял, эти квесты выдаются каждые сутки. Квесты выдаются каждые сутки. То есть вчера мы, ну, позавчера мы закрыли первую часть с этим батей. Нам вчера выдали новый квест. Вчера мы закончили вторую часть, нам выдали третью сегодня утром. У меня чай, любимый пирожок с вишней из мака. Это да, это да. Приветствую, лисенка. Добро пожаловать. Ну и продолжаем мы искать. А чё, кого? В смысле, чё, прям так сразу, что ли? Юзеф Атидзоль. Угу, угу, угу. Вроде. Что-то мне кажется, что ни хрена это не папа. Когда будем фармить артефакты. Ходил я в твой этот пик Вердрынь-Друндрата. Нет, не пойду я туда больше. Кошмар там какой-то. Да, мне и на своих персах там хорошо было. О, как мои ноги. Мне кажется, там что-то не то. Что-то не то с этим батей. Либо я уже параноик. И все? Это весь квест? Я понял. Хорошо. А можно второй будет такой же? Какая разница, кому что кажется? Квестов с ним больше не будет. Но не. Что у нас за такие непотребства-то происходят? Там глюки в разломе с дочкой, здесь батя какой-то подозрительный. Но нельзя же так делать. Где у нас точка телепортации? Лисенка у нас сегодня добрая, всем что-то раздает. Все значит все. Так, ну и что? Да у вас у всех для меня кое-что срочное. А что у нас со звуками игры? Почему их нету? Она ушла за маячками, но еще не вернулась. Я знаю, я склонна к блужданиям. Давай дополнительные 3 часа на обратную дорогу. Но прошло уже не менее 5 или 6 часов. Поможешь найти и очень уважает тебя. Я не хочу же... Ага. Угу. Приветствую, Ватфокс. Добро пожаловать. Так, настройки. Вот так. Ну вот, уже хоть что-то. Так, мы сейчас по этим маячкам будем шляться, где вчера их устанавливали. Конечно же, вариант того, что какой-то из маячков будет верный, я приду и сразу ее найду, это у нас не катит. То есть придется шляться по всем. Так, о, тут... сейчас еще и у Туфтуйки квест возьмем какой-нибудь, да? Короче, не попадем мы сегодня в Инадзуму. Да нет, почему? Ты-то можешь идти на артефакты хоть сейчас, просто на другие. Так, давайте сразу... Так, нет. Я хочу... Это что-то все медленнее и медленнее, ну, естественно. А зачем я сюда спрыгнул? Нормальные арты только после 45-го. Ну, не скажи. Не скажи. Вот и вы будьте как дома, извините, в прошлый раз я в тропях выставил, даже не объяснил, что мне от вас нужно. Успокойся, ничего плохого я не попрошу. Дело такое, мой Коля, мой соратник Николай, не выходит на связь. И вот я хочу попросить вас поискать его. Если он еще жив, то верните его, пожалуйста. Если он погиб, я должна знать. Мне, правда, неловко просить вас в таком деле, но я надеюсь, что вы подумаете. Угу. Хорошо. Поищу я тебе Колю. Может быть. Почему не Дима? Ну, потому что не Дима. Потому что Коля. Так. А у меня есть вопрос. А вчера, помнится, тут был этот, вурдалак. А теперь его тут нет. Походу, сейчас я найду. Ну да, вот она. Блять, а у меня еще и отряд не собранный. У меня еще и отряд не собран. Какая красота. В смысле, они кровотечение накидывать могут? Это что-то новенькое. Нормально. И как с этим жить? Нет, Сянлин-то я одел. Меня просто очень интересует, а как жить-то с этим кровотечением? Что-то вот это упырство какое-то прям жесткое на самом деле. О, прекратилось кровотечение. А? Только я не понимаю, почему сразу на всех-то персонажей накладывается. Да ты задолбал. Остановись. Волки с Инадзумы. Я уже не хочу в Инадзуму. Инадзума душная. Ты б знал, ты б знал. Есть босс, большой волк, ёп. Где все остальные шахтеры? Угу. Интересно, а если этот суп съесть, можно будет ей что-то отдать? Или что, квест просто забагуется? Или его съесть все-таки нельзя будет? Конечно, навестим, чтобы дать тебе пиздюлей. За твое отвратительное поведение. Так, Коля. На поиски Коля. А, так Колю-то искать тут. Он почти 46-го ранга. Он уже 46-го, наверное, если не больше. Так. Отряд. Так, сюда Ганью. Сюда Барбару. И Хил. Да, я возвышение не прохожу. У меня просто опыт копится и всё. Да мне хватает вот этих вот всех гадов. Ну, это плюсом, мне сейчас пройти возвышение, у меня уровень мира апнется. А уровень героев я апнуть не смогу. Потому что мне на героев нужен 50-й. Как бы и какой мне... А зачем? А нахрена я вообще спрыгивал? Мне-то на... Ой, я дебил. Ой, поэтому надо на артефакты ходить. Да не надо мне ни на какие артефакты ходить. А как туда попасть? Через вот эту? Да, скорее всего, вон в ту пещеру мне. Потом будешь реветь, что тебе не хватает урона. Его мне хватает. У меня все хорошо. Бульк. Капельки какие-то. Грибы. Подношения. Какой опять молельный зал меня направляют? Или что это? Слезы Николая? Страница из дневника младшего сержанта Николая. Беда, сломалась. Катина балалайка. Катя, откуда у тебя балалайка? Что-то есть не сделал во время экстренной ситуации. Нужно ее починить, иначе Катя меня живьем сожрет. Так наши предки боролись с бедствиями 500 лет назад. Капитан сказал, что ожесточенная битва, через которую мы прошли, лишь малая толика по сравнению с тем, что пережили наши предки. Многие страницы в середине испачканы черным веществом. При попытке его убрать повреждаются надписи, сделанные чернилами. Я не могу оставаться здесь, они выследят меня через черную грязь. Теперь я пойду в противоположном направлении и снова уведу их от основных сил. Рядом с остатками крепости на юге-востоке есть вход в пещеру, возможно, я смогу там пройти. Желаю себе удачи, кто, если не мы. Медведей нет. Подожди, снежную откроем, будут и медведи, мне кажется. Жаль, только снежная будет открываться в самый последний момент. Так, а куда нам надо? А, ну у нас, в принципе, все тут. Можно пройти вот по этим площадкам. О, надо вот это подсобрать. Чтобы это подсобрать, мне нужно перстак, конечно. Ладно, хрен с ним. Потом как-нибудь приду соберу. Это чудовище на меня сейчас загрется, конечно же. О, здравствуйте. Нет, не то. Тоже не то. А где я тут что не собрал? Да отвяжись ты от меня. Больно ты мне нужен. Дурачок с дубинкой. Еще выше засунуть не могли его, блин? Я так полагаю, мне вон туда, да? Ну, конечно. Кто бы сомневался. Так. Да в смысле? Я же в уклонении был, нет? А, как я обожаю вот эти перескоки камеры. Вот эта бумажка. Мне удалось войти в эту тайную комнату. Огромный механический монстр все еще бродил снаружи, словно свирепый хищник, поджидая, пока я выйду наружу. Моя левая нога повреждена и жутко болит. Я наспех перебинтовал ее, но она опухла. Наверное, попала инфекция. В этой пещере есть еще один выход, но я не знаю, куда он ведет. Он выглядит таким хрупким, что, кажется, рухнет от одного толчка, если его не подпереть. Меня заметили, кто-то идет. Это мечник в черном. Он... Нет, оно. Кажется, что даже прочная металлическая решетка его не остановит. Это ясно по одному его только виду. Прости меня, Катя. Это значок. Тут парень фату я оставил. Подожди, надо идти. Идти некуда. Мы когда-нибудь делали что-то глупое, просто потому что не знали всего. Я делал, я скинул 11-20, 1127 гео скинул в фонтан, мне никто не сказал, что я скинул все гео. Посмотри зрением, а толку? Спустя эту минуту вспомнил, что не успел поутриться как следует. Кстати, вот огненная... Ах, вы же не пьете, да? То есть она его сестра все-таки. Так, ну все, с этим бредом мы закончили. А теперь нам придется проходить вот это. Теперь нам придется проходить вот это, чтобы попасть в Инадзуму. Понаоткрывал я задание легенд на свою голову, когда я только зашел в игру, оно у меня светилось, все перемигивалось красным, типа, да, привет, у нас тут целая куча заданий. Забирай все для тебя, оплаты не надо. Теперь вот из-за этого мне приходится страдать. Какие девчонки стоят.
It's shocking how much
Одинаковые.
work there is to do, even for the three of us. And she's been handling it alone all along. The Chising secretary clearly isn't an ordinary person. It's... Huh? You're...
Aren't you Ningguang's servants? How come you're here?
We are Miss Ningguang's private secretaries.
Have you seen Miss Ganyu, Traveler? It has been several days since Ganyu left for Jueyun Karst. She's the general secretary of the Liyue Qixing. We've only taken over...
Even though the Chising have made peace with the Adepti after the latter had denounced Liyue, they commissioned Ganyu as their envoy to deliver a letter to Jueyun Karst and bring the Adepti Still, Ganyu should have been back to her usual response.
Is that so? Maybe Ganyu...
I'm afraid it's not very likely. Ever since we met Miss... Even when it's time for her annual...
Короче, в
leave,
загул
Miss
ушла
Ganyu stays
девчонка.
on duty at Yuehai Pavilion saying there is still so much to do. She couldn't possibly be using her mission as an excuse to slack off.
Oh, Paimon sees how it is. But she's half Adeptus.
It's because of this absurd workload of... When we first heard the three of us would be taking over for Miss Ganyu, we thought...
We couldn't have imagined that Miss Ganyu's daily workload far exceeds what the three of us are used to doing.
Не знаешь, как трудится Ганью. Да, 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 да.
Speaking of Jueyun Karst, Traveler, I've heard...
Of course, we've been there.
That's good news. Could you go to Jueyun Karst and find Miss Ganyu for us? Preferably before we collapse under this workload. We're saved. I remember...
It's about
Да она
time
просто уже
she came
сидит
back to
с
work.
с этой
Otherwise-
цаплей, которая
Oh,
хранитель
no.
облаков,
Perhaps
там
we should go to the
распивает
Ningguang first and bring up our
какую-нибудь
overtime pay
китайскую
again.
водку. И все.
So Ganyu left to visit Cloud Retainer. Doesn't she live...
А? А в смысле меня сюда?
We should hurry up. Paimon hopes we can find her there.
Я могу уже по квесту пойти. То есть мы эту девчонку вернули назад, она теперь стоит у нас на арене, а эту мы можем не проходить. Правильно я понимаю? Что у меня сейчас за квест активный стоит? Ну да. Это вот меня поведет... что-то. Все, да, вот по пути ветра. Саке называется. Саке японская. Держу в курсе. Алие, Китай. Ты выдумываешь, иди делай. Екатерина, я не разговариваю на вашем языке.
We're way behind schedule.
Нет, Япония это этот, Инадзума.
Next on the agenda. We're way behind schedule.
Пора бы уже... Не-не-не, спасибо. Я воздержусь от такого. Я в ваш эльфийский лезть не собираюсь. Знаю, я просто и там есть рис, и там есть водка на ее основе. А как называется в Китае, я не знаю. Не, в Китае вроде не рисовая. Хотя я могу ошибаться, я в этом не очень силен. А зачем? То есть это другая девка. Почему мы должны были поговорить с той?
If you're looking for the captain, she was summoned by Lady Ningguang. It seems that the Crux clash got out of hand this time, and Captain Beidou was muttering something about Ningguang being a stick in the mud as she headed off to Liyue Harbor.
It's not unusual for those two to be.
But still, Captain Beidou was disappointed she didn't get to witness the crowning of the new champion.
The one who stole the vision was originally to be this hero's opponent
На
in the final
персиках есть и
round.
на рисе есть. Они те еще бухарики.
He knew he stood no chance of winning the match, thus the wicked idea of stealing the prize, in which case the Crux clash comes to a clear-cut...
Huh? So, if that's the case, then the rules stipulate that he is disqualified.
Paimon thought we'd win and all, but not like this.
It doesn't matter. As the saying goes, honor given is honor deserved. Now,
Yes, I believe so. Though but the voyage to Inazuma is a treacherous one. You will be plagued by a perpetual tempest the entire trip. In fact, the relentless rain and wind are also an embodiment of the Raiden Shogun's will to close the...
Hold on a second. You're saying she can change the weather?
Let us not forget that this is one of the 7 Archons. If Liyue's Morax could form Guyun's stone forest by casting down his stone... Suffice it to say that if you wish to journey to Inazuma, the Alcor will need some time.
Угу.
In the meantime, I intend to embark on a journey of my own.
Paimon believes you'll find a way for sure.
Thank you. May
Я
both
думал,
our
он с нами
journeys prove
поедет.
meaningful. One final word of warning. The part of your journey that lies after the storm.
А я думал, он с нами пойдет. Так. Нам надо к Катерине. Господи. Вот у меня, кстати, вопрос. А почему у нас как бы все российские имена принадлежат Фатуям? Казуха в бегах. Он преступник на родине. А, ну да, да. Почему все русские имена принадлежат Фатуям, по сути? Но вот это Катерина.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. What can I do for you, traveler? Ah, yes. I've heard that you've already made arrangements with a cat. Now that I think about it, it's been quite some time since I last visited.
There you are. You're the traveler that Beidou will be taking to Inazuma, right? The fleet is nearly completed reprovisioning. Once the crews have taken a head count, we can get underway. Captain Beidou sent me to come get you. We'll weigh anchor as soon as you're aboard.
Seems Beidou is the captain.
Of course! There are many things that the captain and...
So you'll be heading off then? Whether the journey before you leads to the heights of the heavens, or the depths until we meet again. Ad Astra Abyssosk.
Oh, it's kinda hard to say.
Да, господи, я вас умоляю, там будет такая
Why
же.
not come and find me when you arrive? I'll be awaiting you in Narukami Island.
Но, я же говорил.
Another Catherine in Inazuma?
Well, I guess it's time for you to bid farewell to Liyue Harbor. Now that I've delivered my message...
Okay, thanks for...
Just following orders. I'll see you...
Везде есть Катерина. Абсолютно везде. Катя вездесущая. Ой.
Ah, you finally made it. All these years, come rain or storm, the Crux fleet has never suffered a delay. If it were anyone else, I might have set sail already. Don't look too serious, I'm only joking. You're just on... Well, now that we set sail for the land engulfed by storm and
Anchors away!
А ты чё? Большая ломка крутить баннер. Ну так иди крути. Так, подожди. Мы же уже все. Мы подготовили корабль, закончили с припасами. Почему мы до сих пор таскаем ящики? О, вот и он. Сидит. Ну, давай. Жги, мать. Насколько я поняла, Кире нужна твоя овечка. Козочка. А, не нужна твоя овечка. Козочка. Какая козочка? Какая овечка? И что, нам даже не покажут... Так она же сейчас крутится, нет? Или уже сменилась? Херню тут несете? Сидят там со своим единым разумом рептилоиды, друг дружку понимают. Так, это что за цыган?
Ahoy there. So, you finally made it. You sure kept me waiting, Captain. And it appears we have a couple of stowaways. Or perhaps I should say, honored guests.
Hello there.
You can blame your almighty shogun. The tempests around Inazuma have been growing all the more fierce, though the fleet was fully up to the challenge. The inclement weather still caught. Now then, let me introduce everyone. This is Toma, a trade partner that I've gotten to know recently.
Второй любовный интерес.
You don't know how long I've been waiting to see you.
Toma, these two are...
Oh, no need for introductions. Their reputation precedes them. Seems even the stormy seas can't keep rumors of the...
With any luck, it'll give you a... Toma's resided on Rito for quite some time now. It wouldn't be going too far to say he's the fixer. If you run into any problems here, just talk to Toma. But if he tries to pull any moves on you, I'll be sure to deal with him
No need to worry. I'm sure we'll get along just
А
fine.
как же тот, который там змеи носится, все дела, а? Кири.
Good. Then if it's all settled, I'll be going. I wouldn't want to be caught with my sails down here. I do have a one...
Oh, right.
Until next time, traveler. Remember to give it your all, no matter what perilous storms you may encounter.
Fair seas, Captain Beto. Bye-bye.
Вчера Казуха был с сердечками.
Now then, first things first. We need to go...
Paimon thought we were supposed to be keeping things on the down low.
Don't underestimate the reaches of the Sakoku decree. You wouldn't be able to... So we have to play by the rules, even if we're kind of bending them.
Так, подождите, у меня вопрос. У меня сейчас будет вопрос. Если Сёгун устроила охоту за глазами Бога и у всех их коммуниздит, почему он ходит с ним? Сразу, пока я вот это вижу. Так, о, рыбалочка. Причем нестандартная рыбалочка. О, какие-то фиолетовые фрукты. Фиалковая дыня. Так, а я не помню, на что этих ловить надо. Не ты мне нужен. Если мне тебя в аквариум дадут, я буду очень негодовать.
Steady now. It's the final stretch. Whoa, nice catch.
Ля какой. Потому что игровая условность. Ай-яй-яй. Это я на чат отвлекся. Да ты чё, Рыб.
Victory is almost ours. Whoa, nice catch.
Давай. О, еще один всплыл. Чё, я хочу себе вот эту вот фиолетовую рыбешку выловить. По-любому же она должна в аквариум попасть, да? Как самая красивая.
Yeah, you nearly got him. Whoa, nice catch.
R1. Она у меня всего 3 наживки осталось. Да, она он как раз скачет, прыгает. Ага. И вот на эту простую она ловиться, конечно же, не хочет. Котеняка такая. Ладно, давайте вот эту выловим и пойдем дальше тогда.
So close. So
Порыбачить я
close.
всегда
Stay
успею.
cool. What is it? What is it? Is it another Paimon?
Твоя кадышище колюшка.
Race you.
Ну что, ребят, новый регион. Прям все такое японское.
Hello? Please state your name, identity, and the purpose of your visit. Oh, except you must be... Excuse me? Please provide the information requested and also declare any goods you are carrying with you.
Мы приехали торговать вином и рудой.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. We cannot approve entry for purely personal reasons. My apologies, but I'll have to ask...
Here are their entry papers for your kind perusal.
What? Ugh, take your time.
I just wanted to see what
I see. Okay. Your paper...
the Outlander Affairs Agency. They only check entry permits here. If you want to remain on Rito, there's a process you have to go through.
Sheesh. So
Well, let's not forget that to everyday folk in Inazuma, people from, as the word suggests, Outlanders aren't very welcome in Inazuma with the Sakoku, not even on Rito, where they've established an outsider settlement. I like how you think. Now, let's head over.
Так, ну давай.
Most of the current rules were put in place by the administration of
Ёпта,
Rito,
смотри
the
какой.
Kanjo Commission.
the Kanjo
From here
Commission?
onward, you're under the jurisdiction of
Yes,
the Kanjo
one branch of the
Commission.
Tri Commission
Такой
of
весь
Inazuma,
ходит важный.
responsible for growing and managing the nation's wealth.
Да что ты?
You really haven't heard of it before?
Слушайте, красиво. Вау. Я хочу себе такое дерево в этот. Владелец магазина. Чайник, хочу себе такое дерево. Активируем телепорт. Куда нам идти-то надо? А, где-то сзади осталось. А, нет, не сзади, дальше. Все такие электрически фиолетовые.
This is the Outlander Affairs Agency. Please have your documents and proof of identity.
you've completed the entry procedures, yes? And now you...
Yes, please.
Okay, the processing fee will be 2 million mora.
Чего?
2 million?
That's right. 1 million per applicant, which makes 2 million total.
Paimon wasn't so much question.
Ma'am, these two here are good friends of mine. I think you'll find I'm one face you recognize.
Ah, Mr. Toma, it's you. By way of courtesy, allow me to reduce it to 400,000.
Thank you ever so much, Miss Eureka. But as this is just a processing fee, I think 600 mora should cover it if I'm paying on their behalf. I'll treat you to dinner too. How does that sound?
That's not how you haggle. By all means, bargain the price down.
All right then, as you wish, Mr. Toma.
Much obliged.
Что? Что происходит?
What? She went from 2 million down to 600? There's something seriously wrong with people's sense of finance around here.
It's not as mind-boggling as you think. A processing fee is just a figure of speech. The way some here at the agency see it, the fees are easy money, so it becomes a question of how much they can make. So when the day comes that some poor merchant from overseas with more money than sense gets stuck here and needs to apply for...
Then they'll milk them for all the...
Exactly. It's at times like this that having a local friend really comes in handy. Yes, but when you're an outlander in Inazuma, far from home in this closed nation era, the most that overseas merchants can do to look after themselves is stick together. That's how the International Trade Association came about.
Происходит кумовство.
So it's a trade association?
Yep. And as well as advancing commercial interests, the association provides help, support, and structure for Outland. Essentially, it's an association devoted to both commercial excellence and survival skills.
Sounds like just staying alive is an achievement.
I see. So this is the real purpose of your trip. After all, the Raiden Shogun is the most exalted and revered one in all of Inazuma. She is a deity who reigns on high, while all... I was going to say nothing is set in stone when it comes to who you will encounter in this world. Who's to say you won't happen to run into the...
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'll give it to you straight. I know...
Really? Wow.
I mean, it will take all the resources I have at my disposal. Connections come at a high price. No. In this instance, when I say in fact, there's no real cost as such. It's just that if I like to do things in a way that keeps...
Sounds very reasonable.
Понятно, мы будем за него разгребать проблемы, а он нам устроит свиданку с
So you
Сёганом.
have to trade favors to keep everyone indebted to you.
Why do I get the feeling you're making me out to be some sort of... Here's the situation. As I touched upon earlier, the members recently, things seem to have gotten more difficult than ever for them. So just the head of the association is called Carisio, and he's a good friend of mine.
То есть далеко ходить не пришлось.
Huh? Hello there. You must be seeking refuge with the International Trade Association. Good. That's a relief.
We heard the association has been having some
Yes. Left, right, and center. Obstacles.
The Sakoku decree certainly makes things difficult for it.
But it's not the root cause of our woes. The Sakoku decree might restrict our scope of... No. What's really squeezing us Outlander merchants dry is... those Mora grubbers from the Kanjo Commission.
Oh, of the 3 commissions.
That's right. They impose astronomical tax rate, unbelievable regulations. They just issued a new tax decree recently that, for some reason, completely changes the way we pay our taxes. It used to be Mora, but now it's something called Crystal Marrow.
Кристальными костными мозгами?
Crystal marrow.
Something that most of us in the association had never... Eventually, one of the older Liyue merchants recalled that he once shipped a batch of it to Snezhnaya in his youth. So, in order to pay our taxes, we began an arduous search for this But then we found we'd only managed to create a bigger problem for ourselves. Now there's only one vendor who even has it in stock. Exactly. So this vendor keeps pushing the price up, and we have no choice but to buy from. It's a vicious cycle. The consequence of which is that our taxes will. We've tried communicating, but this is a nation where the cries of a few struggling merchants will never be heard over the ever-present. Fontaine, my dear homeland. I miss you enough.
Sounds awful. They're really bleeding them dry. What do you think we should do? But Carice is the head of the association, and he...
Right, and besides...
Okay, well...
I've actually done business with him in the past, but after a point he stopped contact...
Well, it definitely sounds like he's being unfair. How do we find him? We can
Он
go talk
спрашиваю
to him,
последний раз
see if he lets anything slip.
за сегодня. Потом пойдем на артефакт. Не знаю.
Hey, that's a pretty good idea. Since you're not affiliated with the association, if I remember correctly, our usual meeting point with him is under a tree by the coast in the residential district. See if you can find him there.
Got it.
Мне особо идти-то и не с чем. У меня 50 смолы осталось. Так, это все, конечно, здорово, классно, прикольно. Где этот? Где статуя? Не люблю я бегать по неизученной карте. Блин, как же все-таки классно, а? И вот эти вот сады песков, сады камней. Да, конечно, этот мир открыт для тех, чье сердце исполнено благородством. Якорная стоянка. Что за якорная стоянка? Так, ну-ка. А что у этой статуи в руке? Какая-то странная неведомая хня. Это сакуру в чайник. Ага. Без подорожной грамоты нельзя пересекать границу Рита. Похоже, что... Ага. Я понял, хорошо, ладно. То есть мне вот вообще с этого островка хрен куда денешься. А если я хочу побегать, поизучать все? Эй, ты, мудак.
I don't think I recognize you. Are you new arrivals? So, what do you need with me? The sheer nerve. You don't go around asking questions like that. If I trade secret, got it? You know what trade and secret mean?
This guy's got a bad attitude.
Ha! Are you even buying? Oh, I see what's going on here. They're wasting their time. The price is non-negotiable.
Hey, what's your problem?
Get out of here, go on. Tell them they're lucky to be buying from me in the first place. And they ought to be—
What are we gonna do? There's no talking to this guy. Good idea. Let's...
А может быть, мы просто дадим ему по хлеборезке? Достанем? Как там? Есть у меня, нет? Где у нас оружие? Достанем нашу прекрасную дубину переговоров. и поговорим.
That was quick.
Actually, we're having a little trouble.
Oh? Well, by all means, tell me. Getting you to go fixing things when you've only just arrived is quite a demand. Oh, that guy? He used to be a bit of a sorry sight, selling shells that he'd collect on the beach just to get... I can only assume he must have found himself a patron after leaving the International Trade Association.
Huh. You're saying he...
Yes. Couldn't you tell when you spoke to him? That's right. Werner was born in Mondstadt, then went into the shipping business, trading. When Inazuma closed to the outside world, he was one of a group of... The International Trade Association was initially very generous to him, but over time, with decree after decree...
So he left the association and...
I'm sure it's more nuanced than that. I believe even the most ungrateful and cold-hearted of people still have some amount of gratitude and warmth.
Really?
Well then, it sounds like you may have found a way...
Мне байда долгое время с этой дубинкой ходила. Хорошо переговоры вела. Это просто Генхайман. Именно.
What are you doing back here? Just because I got plenty of time on my hands doesn't mean I want to waste any of it talking to you. Huh? Where's this coming from? Mondstadt? You were talking about Mondstadt.
Ветреная астра. Да, давайте астру ему дадим.
Goodness, I can sense it now. So familiar, but I can't remember the last time I was there. The scent of Mondstadt. Oh, how it takes me back. Oh, my hometown. The home of...
It's working!
So, trying to play my... Huh? What is this?
Just close your eyes already!
You mean the sound of the ocean? Leah Harbor. I can see it so clearly. Oh, and the sound of the waves. The calls of the merchants. Xiao lanterns. I'm right there at the lantern right.
This guy has a really active imagination.
Лиюэ.
Так. Что тебе отсюда-то дать? Ну, да, давайте перчик дадим.
Wait. Stop. That's enough. Don't make me relive it anymore. My poor heart can't take it. You mean the folks from the International Trade Association? Often, I'll sneak down to the shore at night and listen to the sound of the waves. I've run into folks from the association more than a few times doing just that, but I always hide my face and slip away. Don't you think I've wanted to talk things through with them and free myself from this anguish?
Well, no one...
They're so resilient. None of them had anyone else to rely on, so they rallied together, committed to finding a way to survive. So I caved. Those people, they'd make the smallest of promises, offer the most measly benefits, and I'd do whatever. All right, I'll tell you the whole story.
You ready to talk now?
But I betrayed them. I can't show my face there.
Come on, you scaredy cat. Look, so come on, get up.
It's a scheme by the tax collection Ashigaru. Keijiro and his... They start by overtaxing the merchants, then take the extra crystal marrow they receive and stockpile it. Once the merchants run out of places to buy crystal marrow, they get me to sell that extra stock back to the merchants.
Ну, в принципе, это...
I'm their puppet.
Это было логично.
But my cut is a tiny fraction of what we take in total. It's barely enough for me. Evidence. Now that I think about it, whenever I report back to him after a sale, he always heads to the same place. As it happens, I handed some Mora over to him not—
Really? Well...
Начинается. Мы только сюда приехали, а уже в какие-то терки вкрячиваемся.
Keijiro, it's him.
After him!
Ah,
Too close! That's too close! He'll notice us for sure!
Great wines that look no further than sailing breeze.
now, who else?
Too close! That's
Да
too
в
close!
смысле?
Getting further and further away! Let's catch up a little!
What was that sound?
Quiet! Don't let him find us!
Must be hearing things. Drat, I'm behind schedule. I need to hurry.
He's getting further and further away! Let's catch up a little!
Ну, давайте, скажите, что он там нычку у него.
What could he be doing at a place like that?
It looked like he buried something.
Конечно, клад закопал. Сундук.
Whoa! It's
Совсем.
a ledger. Boring. Paimon thought he'd hidden a big pile of Mora here.
Let me take a look here. Aha, yes! This is what we're looking for. A
Great! Well, now we have our hard evidence. Let's. Huh?
I need a little.
Huh. Poor Werner's. Race you!
But we really don't have anything left. If this keeps up, our sales will come in at a loss. There'll be nothing.
You know the decree. The rules are the rules. No discounts, no exceptions, and no excuses. And who are you? Another new member of the association?
It just so happens that we found your little ledger, so now we're here to tell everyone.
Huh? Is this true?
You've been swindling us!
Well, you see, the taxes,
Let me take a look at the ledger. Well, would you look at that? Every payment the association has made is right here. So, Mr. Keijiro, it seems you have some explaining to do.
So you think you can use this against me, do you? It's quite obvious that I'm merely trying to—
Word has it that samurai and the commission place great importance on reputation and prestige. Though
Huh? Is that a threat? Are you threatening me?
No, not at all. I'm simply stating that it would be quite a pity if—
Well, even if what you say is true—
I believe you still have a quantity of crystal marrow. Perhaps that crystal marrow could be used as compensation for the recent tax hike. And
Is that it?
Do you have any idea the hoops I had to jump through to get the crystal marrow and keep it hidden?
And not even an ounce of shame for
А
us.
по хлебалу.
My shop's been closed for weeks now. I've even had to ask my friends to—
come on, Harrison. We've already struck a good deal here.
I'm sick of being pushed around like this.
Harrison!
Hey, what's all this racket? Does someone dare question the decree?
Ah, Chief, you've arrived.
What was all the commotion I heard just now?
Oh, we were just discussing a minor tax issue.
A helping hand? The only thing you're doing is stuffing your greedy pockets with our hard-earned wealth.
Oh, and you dare to utter the commissioner's name. You seize the merchants. We will resolve this dispute back at headquarters.
Uh-oh.
Gentlemen, come now. Is there any need for this? If there's a dispute to resolve, let's get a drink and talk it over.
Кто он такой?
Who are you supposed to be? And why in my right mind would I join you for a drink?
You never heard of the Fixer?
Here's my card.
Huh. You're from the Yashiro Commission.
Shh.
Huh. Well, this is Kanjo Commission territory. However powerful the Yashiro Commission may be.
Of course not, of course not. Still, perhaps you could show the young...
Чё?
lady of our clan some courtesy. You wouldn't want your name showing up in a petition to the Shogun, would you?
That fan. The Shirasagi Himegimi. I don't need any trouble with her. Okay, let's forget all this.
But, Chief!
Enough! We're leaving.
Let's get dinner one day soon, gentlemen. My treat, I insist. No response, huh? I suppose that bridge is well and truly burned.
Что?
Thank you so much, Toma. But I'm sorry your relationship with the Kanjo Commission had to suffer
Что это
for
за
our sake.
картинка? Какой веер? Чего?
Hey, I was joking. It's a small price to pay, and you're more than welcome. If there's anyone you should be thanking, it's the Traveler. She's the one who found a way to turn things around. If nothing else, I'm sure the tax collection Ashigaru will tread a little more carefully in the future.
Tola, what was all that?
Shh, not here. Too many people listening.
А, тут ушей немного, да?
Corruption seems rife in the Kanjo Commission. All right, time for me to answer your questions. What would you like to know? Straight to the point. I belong to the Kamisato clan of the Yashiro Commission on Narukami Island. I'm an attendant of the Shirasagi Himegimi.
You've been keeping your true identity. So, the Yashiro Commission.
Correct. The Kamisato clan is the head of the Yashiro Commission, who manage ceremonial and cultural affairs. I'm just someone who was fortunate enough to be taken in by the Kamisato clan. My role is to take care of the daughter of the clan, Kamisato Ayaka, also known as the Shirasagi Himegimi.
Seems like she must be super famous in Inazuma, given the reaction of those guys.
Oh, most definitely. She's graceful, dignified, and kind-hearted too. Her fame even somewhat eclipses that of her older brother, Kamisato Ayato, despite the fact that he's the current head of the clan. I suppose those who treat others with compassion earn themselves the same treatment in return. Miss Kamisato's situation certainly seems to attest to that. Take me, for example. I'm just an attendant, and yet she treats me. You're asking the right questions. And to be honest, I don't want to keep you in the... Firstly, you should know that being a fixer is not something you can fake. I spent the better part of a month...
Still pretty good going for just...
Well, maybe I have a slight knack for schmoozery. But the main thing was, I had to make sure I'd be in time. Inazuma may have closed off to the outside world, but that hasn't stopped a lot of people from hearing about your feats and monsters. So, when Miss Kamisato heard of your intention to come to Inazuma, she began looking, that you have what it takes to change the tide of the times.
Change the tide?
In the test I gave you earlier, although there were a few hiccups at the end, it was you who found the way to turn the situation around. Navigating powerful people, using their character flaws to your advantage. It's just what Miss Kamisato had hoped to see. With your help, even the Vision Hunt Decree... That's an unexpected development. Perhaps our sources... Yes, of course. I completely understand.
Но только в том случае, если вы нам поможете.
Well, my work on Rito is done. So one more thing. This invitation letter is for you. When you get to Narukami Island, good luck with everything.
Не, ну, конечно, с нашей стороны тоже прям так, типа, пошли нахер. Это слишком жестковато.
Huh? What's up? Oh, right! Wait, so did Toma forget that too? Oh, darn it! No wonder he was so mad. As soon as we get off Ritu, Paimon's going straight to Kimura Tea House to well, guess we should give it a try.
Мгм. Я так полагаю, что у меня тут будет весело, и все, кто меня будет видеть, будут пытаться меня отмудохать, да? Потому что я незаконно тут шляюсь.
If you don't have a travel permit, this is as far as you'll get.
As a traveler, you gotta think of something. How do we get out of Rito? Are you saying we should go and meet with the guess it can't hurt to try? Even if Paimon has a few choice words to... Who knows? Maybe he's our biggest fan.
Halt! This is the Kanjo Commissioner's office. No trespassers.
We're here to see,
The Kanjo Commissioner seldom entertains Outlanders. Leave now or we'll be forced to...
Ah, wait.
Oh, Commissioner!
These two are honored guests from afar. No need to give them the usual spiel.
Почему они все на одно лицо? Одинаковая борода, одинаковая прическа.
Did you get all that?
My sincere apologies.
Взят.
I am Hiragi Shinsuke, Kanjo Commissioner and head of the Hiragi clan. It's an honor to meet you both.
Nice to meet you, sir. So, the reason we wanted to come...
All right, all in good time. Two travelers renowned far and wide have shown up to...
So what you're saying...
Absolutely. How many other people in the world have what it takes to knock the wind out of Storm Terror's sails?
Exactly! Paimon...
And I hear you also foiled a Fatui plot in Liyue Harbor. Even beat one of their harbingers in a duel.
Whoa! You heard about that too? Yep. It's true, all right.
As I thought.
Something wrong?
No. I'm simply awestruck by you both is all. Rito is greatly honored to have... One other thing I heard about you is your great zeal for helping other people.
Well, sure, no problem. Whatever you need, right?
Excellent. Well, you must know the Qingxian. A flower grows on the mountaintops of...
Yep, we've picked a few of those before.
Yes, bring me 300 Qingxian, would you? Freshly picked, I mean.
Did Paimon hear that wrong?
Too much trouble, is it? I see.
300 штук, да? Я тут 20-ку-то на возвышение персонажа фармил, матерился.
Then how about this? We have a few items that need delivered.
That sounds much...
709 letters to be precise.
Hey, what gives?
Terribly sorry. We're just a little short on people lately.
What sort of an explanation is that? Traveler, what are we going to do? Should we really help this guy?
Да, конечно. Давайте, лучше 700 писем.
That's the spirit. Don't keep me waiting too long now.
You're seriously considering taking this job? The terms are ridiculous.
Так, стоп. Я вот где-то уже... Ага. Так. Вы не будете против? Я вам немножко потопчу ваш сад камней. Так, а как бы туда залезть? Ну, все ж просто. Все максимально просто. Ай. Нулся. Не самые удобные деревья. Скажу честно. Блин. Эть. А что? В смысле? Ля, какой красивый. Симпатёва. Электрокул. Приветствую, Вака. Добро пожаловать.
Halt, you two. Miss Hiragi has a letter for you. She insists that you read it immediately.
A letter? Quick, let Paimon see.
Прости, что неожиданно напишу это письмо. Надеюсь, оно тебя не потревожило. Мне впервые доводится приглашать чужака с другой стороны письмом. Но, думаю, познакомились мы не случайно. Итак, сегодня на небе будет тонкий серп луны, и я надеюсь, что мы встретимся. По поводу слуг не беспокойся, найду способ их обойти. Надеюсь, ты придешь.
So this means she wants you, but you didn't seem surprised at all by this. What's going on? Huh?
Привет, Стайскин. А где хоть встречаться-то? Как истинные ниндзя будем лазить по стенам.
You finally arrived. Allow me to
Результация
introduce myself.
Хирагити
This is technically the second time we have met.
Wow. She's the daughter of the Hiragi clan, all right.
No need to be so formal. I've long marveled at your accomplishment.
А ночнушку так и не сменила.
The reason why I wanted to secretly meet you here is, well...
Discuss what?
I should like to ask for your help with delivering a letter.
Ну, слушай, батя твой говорил про пару писем, оказалось 700. Ты говоришь про одно, видимо, 350, да?
No, you misunderstand me. I was hoping that you could deliver a letter to Narukami Island in my stead. It is to be given to Kujo-ka. My father has always forbidden me from communicating with him. He knows that there are prospects for my marriage that would better serve him politically. There is no one who would dare defy my father's will on Rito, but you are Outlanders. Outlanders seeking to get to Naruk... Of course, in doing so, I will also do everything in my power to help you leave Rito. To be perfectly honest, as long as you remain in Inazuma, my father will have no intention of letting...
Yeah, we figured as much. It was pretty...
I secretly overheard a conversation between my father and a They seem to be discussing how to keep you here on Rito. In fact, it was the first time I had ever heard my father speak so respectfully to someone who wasn't the show. We don't have much time. I'll tell you my plans to help you off the island.
Угу.
Very well. I'll be waiting for you at the border.
Ну хорошо, хорошо, конечно. Только, пожалуйста, в ящик с рыбой не пихайте. Вонять будем. Я в этой игре, можешь подсказать, пожалуйста, какой самый лучший сет артефактов для Сянлим? Это тебе, конечно, лучше Кирю спросить, если она здесь. А вообще, ведьма, либо гладиатор. Вот ведьмин огненный цветок, горящая алая ведьма, либо гладиатор. Но лучше, конечно, говорят, что цветок. Киря, подскажи человеку, пожалуйста. Я ж глупенький, я могу что-то не так сказать.
Hold on, please.
Муна, это интересно вообще? Тип стримов 7, наверное, подряд Genshin. Слушай, во-первых, попрошу меня простить. Я забыл ВК закрыть. Во-первых, как бы... Какая Сянлин? Яньфэй, да. Слушай, Яньфэй у меня вроде нет. Играть все равно не во что. Мне нужен был какой-то онлайн-проект, в который я могу пойти и стримить его на постоянной основе. У меня их два. Это либо Genshin, либо Лига. Но как бы из двух зол выбрано было меньше. Ну а в целом, да, мне заходит. Подождите, этот товар отправляется на остров Ватацуми.
My lady, this is an unexpected honor. You are correct. These goods have been repeatedly requested by the Kanjo Commissioner. We must be certain that they reach what...
Is there something wrong, Lady here?
No, as you were. My father simply has some concerns of the shipment's safety.
My lady, you aren't suggesting that you intend to escort this shipment personally, are you? There's certainly no need for you to trouble yourself with such a matter, and...
Please, do not cause us any further delay. If memory serves me right, my father has already asserted...
Yes, of course, my lady. It's just that, well, we don't know who this...
Now, need I remind you of the penalty if anything were to happen to me en route? Do you really presume that you can fully guarantee my safety?
Ох уж эти властные японские женщины.
They don't stand a chance.
Yes, my lady. Very well then. It's an honor to have you accompany...
Shinojo, you can't really be agreeing...
Well, the request is from Lady Hiragi herself.
Yes, but that's...
Well then, if we're through here, I suggest we set off at once.
Yes, my lady.
Ага, я понял. Я уже заранее... Так, ну привет, пацаны. Давненько мы с вами не виделись. Опа. А вы чё, кто?
Monster sighted. Prepare to counterattack. Protect Lady Hiragi at all costs.
We'll take care of this. Stay with Chisato.
Какой-то мужик с катаной здоровый. Что, замена какому-нибудь хиличурлу с этим, со щитом? Иди поплавай. Ты чё, слышь? Водоросли какие-то. О, родные. Привет. Симулятор самогонщика будешь пробовать, когда выйдет? Какой симулятор самогонщика? Что я упустил? Кого призвать? Опа, ни хрена. Ёп. Такой ты, конечно. А чё, все? Меч остыл? Хорошо подзавис в воздухе. Клин клином вышибают. А, все что ли? Он его огненной водой забыл полить.
How are you faring, my lady?
I'm perfectly all right. You may stop here. The road to Narukami Island is just in my letter. I
Конечно, не знаю, зачем я лезу на эту сосну или что это, ель. Я же могу, по сути, просто вот так вот дойти и залезть. Блин, ну прям шикарно, слушайте. Привет. А ты кто? Ну вот что начинается-то, а? Вы, твари, мешаете мне наслаждаться видами. Ни хрена себе. Ни хрена себе. Жахнуло. Сейчас что-то... Только хотел сказать, что сейчас что-то жахнет хорошо. Ну все, давай, я начинаю... Теперь я буду тебя убивать. И что, ты думаешь, вот эти комары тебя спасут? На кассе вот тут. О, пыльца, это хорошо. Где-то опять здесь. Еще один электро. А, ну вон. Так, а куда барсучонок-то делся? Куда делся барсучелло? Назад, что ли, вернулся? О. О. Какая статуя классная. Блин, как же тут все-таки красиво. Такие барсуки стоят. Прикольно. По-любому же у этого... А, вон мелодия лежит. У этого должна же быть какая-то сокровенная тайна, что-то... Чему-то же это должно быть. Не просто так же тут этот Алтарь стоит. А, вот он. Вот он, барсучонок. Пропал опять. А, то есть я вот просто вот так свободно взял, зашел, да? Меня даже никто не остановит, ничего не спросит. Я проснулся, спал как мертвый. А чё там, YouTube, труба не ожила? А, ожила, да?
The kind of place where the big shots of Inazuma live, huh? Paimon kinda expected it to be snazzier.
Welcome at last to the Kamisato residence on.
Is this the Shirasage Himegimi you keep going on about? Oh, behind the
Yes. As the daughter of the Yashiro Commission, this is how Miss Kamisato is accustomed. Consider it a time-honored tradition within the Yashiro Commission. Forgive me if this is an unwelcome
Makes sense. She's a super important person.
Please forgive my lack of courtesy for receiving you in this fashion, especially following such a long and wearisome journey over the sea. I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation, and Toma assures me that you do indeed possess the power to change the tide of the times. At present in Inazuma, in the name of the Vision Hunt Decree, the people's aspirations are being senselessly trampled underfoot. Though the Yashiro Commission serves the
Ни
shogun,
хрена себе
it is the
кимоношечка.
people with whom we
Там
share
что,
close bonds, given the
оверсайз?
contact we are required to
Аяка.
have with them in the performance of our duties. A commission's power rises and falls with the trust of their people. Thus, traveler, lend us your power, and we can... Oh.
See, milady, it's just like I said. This will take.
No, please! Wait! Please, don't go! I will introduce you to the Raiden Shogun on one condition.
What are your wishes?
They pertain to three whose visions were taken from them. Perhaps once you've met them, you will understand.
A warrior who guards a village, a former samurai who helped carry out the Vision Hunt Decree, and a swordmaster determined to become the best in the world.
Correct. Please do all you can to help them. Then you have my gratitude.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Не друг ты мне. А можно я понаглею? А, ну конечно же, никого я тут не обнаружу. Так, книжечки. Книжечки, это хорошо. Ну да, конечно, размер кимоно, я вам скажу. Размер кимоно впечатляет. Так, где-то здесь еще... Типа у меня еще нету репутации? Я понял. Могли бы сразу сказать, что я нет никто и звать меня никак. Я его не вижу. Опять где-то внизу, что ли? В каком-нибудь подполе. Так, ну и куда меня отправляют? А, вот сюда? То есть в самое начало практически? Ну, давайте.
Let's see. Where's the person I...
Why are you doing this? Why leave all of a sudden, after all these years?
Precisely. It's much too sudden. We've had no time to prepare. The children are desperate for you to take them out to play.
That must be the guy Ayaka told us about.
Там. Ладно.
If you want my opinion, it's clear that Tejima had done nothing wrong, and still they confiscated his vision. After that, I can't claim to fully understand it, but I could tell that he'd lost something very important to him. Truth be told, we aren't sure whether trying to keep him here...
Seems like he's a well-respected guy.
Mm-hmm.
You must also be. Tejima has protected this place ever since here, keeping out the treasure hoarders, fending off any monsters that draw near, resolving. But now, all of a sudden, he says he plans. We will gladly apologize if that's the case.
Ну, давай с тобой теперь.
You must be Tejima. So what's made...
Me? It's not a question of why I want to leave, but a question of true. And what made me want to come here 30 years ago? I don't have answers to those questions because I can't remember anymore. In the past, I knew I wanted to stay here. But whatever resolve I had then, it's gone now.
Okay. Well, in that case, if we help you read... But if you can't... Oh! Maybe if you just try a little harder to remember, then...
Да, это же так легко и просто, Паймон.
Oh, that reminds me. Last time
I keep a diary?
Oh, yes, yes, you do. And what's more, I remember you saying at the time...
Perfect! So if we want to keep Tejima from leaving...
If you don't mind, we will leave you to find the diary.
This looks like Tejima's done. Let's see what... Today, the villagers and I got together to cook dry braised salted fish. I messed up, but today, I helped rescue a kid who had fallen in the water. After I pulled him out, he told me that his best friend Bamboo was... I went kite flying today. The string broke, so I chased after it as fast as I could. I soon realized I was never going to get it back. Seems like you're... Huh? I went to pray at the shrine again today and stayed there a while. The Omamori you gave me has faded a little, but it is... Now that's the kind of info we're looking...
Какое-то святилище нас отправляют. А, ну ты прям далеко ходил, дядь.
So this is the Omamori... interesting. Looking at the cup... But anyway, if he had this with him all the time...
Ой, не туда. Угу. Странно, следы вроде дальше вели.
Tejima visited... The soil looks like it's been disturbed. Must be something pretty amazing if it made him stick around. It looks like a letter. Konda
Мы расстанемся в этой войне. Подожди меня в деревне Кондо, там будет для нас безопасный дом.
So the reason, but he's been here for 30 years. Well, let's go give Tejima his. Race you.
Well, I'll be. That's certainly my handwriting. But still, it's clear that I was waiting. Over the years, I must have made a note of anything interesting. And just look at all the things that... How could I have forgotten something so important to me? Love, regret, everything I felt for her. No. After all, I've forgotten who she was. Her face, it's as if she'd never been in my life to begin with. As if all these years have been nothing but a... I think maybe not. Although, what if she were to turn up eventually? Only when I think about it like that. How curious. Why am I thinking like this when I don't even remember who she is? I shall remain here.
Tejima seems to be dealing okay, but still, it makes Paimon really sad. Seems it's just like Ayaka and Toma were saying. If you lose your vision, that certainly explains the state Tejima was. At least we were able to help him.
Даже так?
Kamisato, the second one who lost their vision is a samurai from the Tenryou Commission.
Нам типа сейчас пытаются сыграть на эмоциях, что вот что делают с людьми происходит, когда у них отбирают глаз Бога. Посмотрите, что вы хотите, на что вы хотите забить. Ай-яй-яй, ай-яй-яй. Подожди, а тут же где-то... Нет. Видимо, не тут где-то. Не буду я брать ваши квесты. Я сейчас опять в них погрязну.
They say the Tenryou Commission is directly controlled by the Shogun. They're the ones responsible for maintaining law and order in Inazuma. But why would they take action against one of their own? Paimon doesn't get it. Huh? There seems to be some commotion over there. Let's go see what's...
I'll ask one more time. Do you intend to withhold this month's emergency provisions?
The entire clan is counting on that food. We demand an explanation.
How many times do I have to say it? I don't know anything about emergency provisions.
You dare deceive us? Those provisions are essential. Do you understand? Not some goods to be pocketed by...
You samurai think you can just do whatever you please? The Tenryou Commission will hear of this.
Oh, huh? And who are you? One of Kurosawa's gang...
what? We heard the commotion and came...
I see. You seem to have come just at the right... This is Kurosawa. He's a samurai and a member of the Shogun's army. They issue emergency provisions to the area, and he's the one responsible for In the past, we'd simply ask him for provisions and everything would be delivered. He's keeping the provisions for himself. I just know it. We'll starve without them.
No one seems to care about us.
Ну да.
We used to think Kurosawa was a kind man, but he's shown his true colors. It's no wonder all the visions have been confiscated. The Raiden Shogun doesn't need people like him.
This must be one of the people Ayaka asked us to help. Maybe we should talk to Kurosawa.
Ну вот зачем? Для чего прерывать кат-сцену? Можно же это было все просто продолжить одним большим.
I don't know whether it's rumors or whether they're trying to blackmail me. But either way, it's ridiculous. My own family can barely get by as it is. Now, if you'll excuse me, that's the first bit of truth I've heard all day. The Shogun's army told me that I was unworthy of my vision. And they said I was slacking off in my work. Apparently...
Well, that's strange. You were helping enforce the Vision Hunt decree.
Ну давай.
Why would you be unworthy of your vision?
To be perfectly honest, all I know is that I will perform certain things every month. And it's not just that. I have this unsettling feeling.
Does it have to do with the missing emergency?
I didn't take any. Like I said, to top it all off, my house was just raided by treasure hoarders. Which is why I came here in the first place. If you don't believe me, go find the treasure hoarders yourself.
Huh. You see, but we better confirm. Let's go round up. We should be able to follow their tracks.
Ну да, действительно, не шибко далеко убежали пацаны.
We really outdid ourselves this time. All those samurai houses packed with goods. We really hit the jackpot.
You haven't seen anything yet. There'll be a lot more where this came from. Today's just the beginning. I'll be leading you all on an epic journey of pillage and plunder.
Да.
You demand, boss.
These seem like the treasure hoarders we're after.
Привет, пацаны.
Another test subject.
Как там эпичный разбой, там все дела?
There goes all the Mora. We worked hard to steal that, you know? Come on, boss.
Not bad, kid. You ever think of joining the treasure hoarders? We could use someone like you. Kurosawa. Oh, so he's the one who sent you after us, huh? Just
So what did you see in...
food supplies. You kidding? That place was a complete mess. I didn't want anyone else to see it. But now that you've caught us, how about we make a deal?
You've got a deal.
Huh?
What the?
There's nothing in here.
Yeah. And they all seem to be made out to the owner of a general goods store. We better talk to this miss up. As for you guys, you're free to go.
So, we redeemed ourselves for some IOUs.
Shut it.
Сейчас выяснится, что он покупал у кого-то это зерно и сам его и раздавал уже. Помидорки растут. Блин, а чё так далеко-то идти?
Welcome to Tsukumomono Groceries. Or perhaps they're... Ah, so you're friends of Kurosawa.
Whoa! Let's not get ahead of our... How did Kurosawa end up owing you?
Let me think. Kurosawa would come regularly to purchase large quantities of foodstuffs. However, the price of provisions began to skyrocket recently, and his salary was no longer enough to cover...
So that's how he was getting those... But why did he have to purchase a usual amount? If the price isn't...
Well, if you think about it, the citizens receiving the emergency provisions must have been carefully calculating how much. Kurosawa thought that it would be quite the disappointment for them if they found they didn't have enough. So he deemed it necessary to take on the...
Wow. And no one ever appreciated what he did.
People's attitudes will always reflect their circumstances. If you ask me, had Kurosawa told everyone... Of course, I'm sure there would still have been some unrest. As for why he chose to spend his own money on emergency if you're still curious, why don't I see? That most unfortunate. If he doesn't clear the debt on his name, he'll have no...
Sword?
Oh, didn't he tell you? I've asked him about its origins, He told me that it was a gift from... In hindsight, I regret that I never made an offer on it. Why don't you ask him about the sword yourself? Perhaps it'll even... Oh, but before... but... And don't worry, I won't charge much for information about Kurosawa. Nothing we ever discussed was...
Ну вы охренели?
At least we now know where the emergency...
Я, конечно, понимаю, что 2К моры это копейки.
Remember anything?
Но все-таки... Я эту мору своими руками добываю. В боях неправедных. Насколько долгая сюжетка в Инадзуме?
I presented them with a choice. Either they left or it turned out to be a real time saver, actually. Did you manage to track down the treasure hoarders?
That just about sums it up. It turns out that you really were...
Strange. Is that really the kind of person? I don't really have any such recollection. Why was I purchasing emergency provisions for everyone? But I could not deny that when I brandished my sword to scare those two away, I could sense that my body was somehow reluctant to do so. And this sword was once wielded by... I remember once when I was young, I wanted to sneak out with the blade. What did he say? It would seem that I forgot many important things when my vision was taken from me. All I can remember now is my father telling me that this blade bore his life's creed. And said to me...
Hey! If you look carefully, can you recognize the words?
Virtue and justice? Somehow those two words seem to explain taking on seemingly endless debts to make others happy. I guess that must have been, but what use are virtue and justice?
Don't worry.
The Tenryo Commission seized my vision. And the irony of all of it is, I somehow still felt sorry when threatening them with my... I'm incapable of being a good person, yet I'm equally unable to...
Yet another troubled... When we get the chance, let's speak to Toma about Kurosawa's debt. In any case, we must never let him sell off that sword. Yeah, seems like losing. Fortunately for us, you don't have it. Let's go find the next...
А тут готовить можно? О, тут можно приготовить. Так, ну давайте, наверное, сейчас с третьим еще пообщаемся, и хорош на сегодня. Минус ли Инадзуму в том, что они многоуровневые. Да нет, почему? Не минус. Очень даже здорово.
The third person who had their vision taken is supposed... Hyman heard that he's the present-day master of Meikyo Shisui art. This is his dojo. Luckily, there's some people around. Let's go...
Nanako, don't worry. Sensei will be fine. Those thugs that challenged the dojo were strong, but he fought them all off in the end.
Maybe, but things have gotten dangerous before in the past, but...
It's just because he's been possessed, that's all. Once the exorcism has taken place...
Да. Конечно, обряд экзорцизма — это то, что надо.
I don't care whether you're trespassers or just here to harass us while Sensei is impaired. Don't make me draw my blade, or you won't live to...
No! You got it so wrong. We just came here to...
Disciples?
Yep. We've heard all about the mighty master of Meikyo Shisui art. It's the whole reason we came... But then we got here and overheard you talking.
From the way you're dressed... Please, accept my apologies. We've had so many people try... You haven't arrived at the best of times, I'm afraid. Sensei got possessed recently, and he's still recovering. He's not able to take on any new disciples for the time. I see you are earnest in your pursuit. Okay, how about this? My fellow Sensei's name is Domon. A name I'm sure you've already heard. Though self-taught, he mastered the art of the sword to a high level. He then proceeded to defeat many other prominent sword masters. He once said that his goal was to become the best, and so, even while training us, he continued to hone his own art. But then...
Not long ago, Sensei had his he says the strangest things over and over. Junya and I have discussed it, and we both think that he's been possessed by an evil but if I'm honest...
The Grand Narukami...
You haven't heard of it? It's the largest shrine on Narukami Island. The head shrine maiden is reputed to have very close ties with the almighty shogun himself. Not that we'd have any means of involving the head shrine maiden, of course. So don't worry, Nanako. The exorcism will take place this evening.
So, losing your vision can cause possession...
Да ну, нет, в принципе, никакой одержимости-то и нет. Он просто так же потерял кусок себя и теперь пытается с этим жить.
So you decided to come. It's a good thing you didn't arrive any earlier. You would have had to witness Sensei one of his fits of just now, when Nanako was attending to him. She heard him when she asked him who the people were. It looked like he was in great distress. He was covering his ears and looking frantic. All the while he kept calling those names. Some of them we knew. Others we didn't recognize. One of them was Anzai. He used to be a fellow disciple of Sensei's. His senior, in fact. Sensei wouldn't stop calling his name. Thankfully, the shrine maidens managed to subdue him. The ritual has now begun. All we can do is... Please, excuse me for a moment while I fetch some water. If he wakes up, he is sure to be...
Huh? Who's that sneaking around? We won't let them get away with it. Seems they aren't here. Should we keep going further up? Is this definitely the right place? Let's look a little further up.
Так. Еще один лучистый кристалл.
Suspicious person sighted.
Я тут задался целью их все пособирать.
Are you sure you're Dolmon's disciple? Unless...
Excuse me? And what are you doing sneaking around these parts?
Bad news? I'll have you know I trained side by side with... I don't care to talk about that time anymore. But if you must know, I am...
His senior? Wait.
Anzai. Yes, that's because I don't wish to see Dolmon or anyone else associated with him ever again. When we were young, we trained under the same swordmaster. I had begun training 5 years before him, and everyone looked up to me as a steady and dependable practitioners of Make Yoshi Sui art seek to achieve stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. So the majority of disciples are indifferent to rank and reward. I was no exception, but Domon was different. The first thing he did when he joined was go straight to our sensei and ask him with a beat. Sensei scolded him and told him that the art of the sword should not be used for such vain ends. Sensei said that coveting the title of the best... I thought so too at the time. But Domon began making swift... Only then did I realize that it was Domon who had long since freed his mind from all agitation. He was consumed by his singular desire to become the best in the world.
Sure sounds like he meant business.
Because until he arrived, I was convinced that I would succeed our sensei. Of all the disciples, I was the most gifted. I had... Domon's arrival changed everything. When we sparred, I lost not just the match, but later, I heard that he sparred with Sensei too. Sensei was advanced in years by then. After that, I wanted nothing further to do with him. Deep down though, so, when I heard rumors that he had lost his mind, my first reaction was to I decided to quietly come and see if it were true. Then, to my complete So you see, I came here not to... Okay, you've heard my story.
Seems like we got it wrong, Vic. Still, Paimon's not sure we should bring him back with us.
We're way behind schedule. What? You're saying does that mean he's just lost his mind? But how is that possible?
Nanako, please.
I am sorry. With what powers I have, I can find no sign of any malignant spirit having... But spirits may take a myriad of forms in this world, many of which I cannot claim, and all is certainly not lost. For I received word not long ago that Lady Yai...
Lady Yai? Is that the same Lady Yai?
The head shrine maiden of the Grand Narukami Shrine? That's wonderful.
Конечно, конечно.
Correct. Lady Yai is most knowledgeable indeed. I am unable to say for certain whether an evil spirit has...
Excuse me, Miss Inagi, but I must ask, should we prepare a...
That won't be necessary. All that is required of you is your time. I must leave now, but we will meet soon at the shrine.
Who'd have thought Lady Yai herself would have...
Do you mean to say that Sensei isn't renowned enough?
No, that's not what I meant at all. I just mean this is Lady Yai, the head shrine maiden. Anyway, you should join us too, tomorrow. Given that you've traveled all this way just to meet our sensei, we, the disciples of Mikio...
Sure! After all, everyone's... Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to find...
Что, мне опять ждать времени? А, нет. Не ждать. Можно прям сразу идти. Вопрос только, как сюда попасть? Может, отсюда подъем будет? Пешком. Спасибо. Да, отсюда есть подъемчик.
Next on the agenda.
Так, а это что? Жук какой-то. Мне кажется, я... Они даже убегать не будут, что ли? А, то есть это такая альтернатива феям? Местная. Кирпич мне в рот. И как туда попасть? Куда дальше-то идти? Ироды. Что наделали? Какие опять ямы? Какие дыры? Куда это? А, вот. Так. Это, кстати, на самом деле очень интересно сделано. И... А, во. Нашел.
We're way behind schedule.
А можно такой лифт в облачный регион? Не-не-не-не-не-не. Так, подожди, а где телепорт? Его там очень не хватает. Не. Ножка. Ножками. Это, я так понимаю, та самая Сакура. Вау, она еще и в форме лисы сделанная. Прикольно.
Do you think that's Lady Ai? Oh, no wonder Junior was so Also, is it just Paimon? It was probably nothing.
Keep away. Keep away from me. I gave up the art of the sword. Please.
As you can see, Lady Domon has persisted in this state for some time now. He appears to see those...
Lady Ai, it must be a possession, right? This is nothing like him at all. In the past...
I'm sorry. It is clear to me that your sensei...
But...
Yes. This is a change in the... Unable to cope with the tremendous pressure he was under, he suffered a spirit... As one who is thrown into the sea, though he fights back desperately against his... As for what has triggered this change, I believe it must be the loss of his vision.
Stripped of his ambition? But Lady Ai, even without his ambition, why should he suffer such a dramatic change?
Your school practices make stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. There was once one who claimed to be indifferent to rank and reward, and who fled enraged when defeated by his junior. And then, what of the one who crossed blades with his own sensei and beloved fellow disciple?
Lady Ai, I'm not sure I...
The path of the sword master is filled with twists and turns. It requires one to take their sword firmly in both hands and cut down the hopes and dreams of others. Only a deep commitment to his ambition to become the best made it possible for him to rise above the pain of these encounters. When that ambition disappeared, he began to doubt himself. As he much like a certain fatally flawed friend of mine.
Poor sensei. To think he's been suffering so great.
I'm sorry. It's all my fault. Father, Sensei, Onsai.
That's enough.
Huh? Isn't that Onsai? Where did he come from? Did he follow us the whole way here?
Onsai, why are there two of you? Is that you or a ghost? You're here for revenge, aren't you? I knew it would come.
You're right to assume that my feelings towards you are far from kindly. It's been so long now that I made peace with it years ago. You did nothing wrong that day. I don't think most of the people you beat along the way would hold it against you. On the contrary, when you cut our ambitions short, now I know that we can't place our hopes in you any longer, since you've been stripped of your ambitions too. But that is no reason to strip them of theirs. Follow the way of the sword all the way to the highest peak.
But what if one day, the same thing happens to them? I put everything I had into trying to become the best. But what if it was all a huge mistake?
Смотри, как сразу полегчало мужичку.
I'd rather they stay where they are now than go any further down this path.
Have you asked them what they think?
Sensei, after you rescued me from the hands of the pirates, I can't know
массовый махач будет?
in my future as you do now. All I know is that here and now, in the present, I want to keep going until the day that I can stand before everyone with my head held high and announce that I, like...
Nanako's far from the only one.
Goodness.
You see? You can place the... Being stripped of your ambition is something that's never happened to me, so I can't claim to understand it. But I do know what it feels like to have your ambitions crushed. So, just as I once placed my ambitions onto you, you are not in the same position that I was. When I left, I had nothing to my name.
I'm sorry to have made you worry for me, and for the state of Miyakyo Shisui art. I no longer have the resolve to become the best in the world. The emptiness and suffering inside of... But as your sensei, I shall commit to imparting unto you. This is my promise. And I humbly ask Onsai, my senior.
You can count on that. I'd be checking in on you occasionally anyway, just to make sure you... But I am now used to the life of a wanderer. I do not belong in the dojo anymore, so I will simply stop. Well, don't just stand there staring at me.
Ну, а я, конечно же, никуда не ухожу. У меня сейчас будут задавать вопросы, спрашивать все, да, кто, откуда, зачем, почему. Грамоту показывай, паспорт предъявляй.
Traveler, a moment, please. Lady Yai has some words.
So, my intuition was correct. The wind that blows from afar carries fresh life to these shores. For us to meet now is premature. Nevertheless, you set foot on these islands at precisely the right moment.
И дуньте в трубочку на всякий случай. Ну да, ну все.
I have high hopes for you, child.
Ты больно-то старше меня, мать.
She seems super mysterious. But, we can come back to it another time. For now, we should go...
Сейчас выяснится, что это переодетый сёгун был. Да, священная сакура, она самая. Ну, я понял уже, что это очень большое и красивое растение. Угу. Ёпа мать. А сюда мы будем скидывать печати. Если раньше мы за них просто в магазинах что-то покупали, то теперь печати. Я понял. Теперь печати будут уходить сюда. Окей, это я чуть на печати подзабила. Так, в каждом регионе свои печати. Ну, типа в Манштате я не скажу, что прям охренеть, как они нужны. Так, и где-то еще один. Где-то еще один, но я его почему-то не вижу. Но слышу. Эти вот перезвоны, позвякивания. Так. Давайте сейчас слетаем вот до этой горы, активируем тут телепорт. И пойдем уже по квестам. Вон в ту сторону надо. Где-то тут на дереве, что ли? Да что ты? Что они сделали с механикой лазания по деревьям? Она стала какая-то отвратительная. Ладно, хрен с ним. Мне надо вон туда, в сторону вон тех руин. Ты сейчас не достанешь электропул. Скоро же будет обновление отряда, на кого-нибудь копите или скипните? Или как получится? Слушай, покрутим в любом случае. Я не могу сказать, что я прям что-то коплю, мне кто-то очень-очень нужен. Ну, как по мне, были бы ресурсы, а я бы крутил и крутил. Кстати, у нас вроде плюс-минус должно было подкопиться молитв. Вот этих простеньких. Да, 6 штук. Можно будет сейчас 4 докупить и крутнуть разочек.
It's so nice to de-stress. Next on the agenda.
Дача Сайна.
Oh, Ayaka! Guess who fulfilled all your wishes? Huh? Ayaka! Huh?
Уф. Какая девушка. А в прошлый раз что, не накрашенная, что ли, была?
Paimon, it is a pleasure to finally meet you both face to face. I have heard all about how you helped our 3 friends. My sincerest thanks to you.
Yeah. Short of, Ayaka, how come this time you get to come out and meet us in person?
Because now that you have done the 3 things I asked of you, I consider you to be my friends. As you will
Mm-hmm.
Wait a second. But isn't Toma your, servant? Paimon's happy.
Oh. Paimon, you are most entertaining. Toma is first and foremost my friend, and was so before he
Да,
ever
нет,
became my
недолго, мы
attendant.
всегда по 3 часа сидим.
Oh, okay then. Ayaka, you seem...
Thank you, but back to the matter at hand. You have now witnessed the pain of those deprived of their visions. What are your feelings on what you have seen? Perhaps in the eyes of a deity such as the almighty Shogun, the lives of those who inhabit the world are inconsequential. Thunders roar, lightnings flash, the winds assault, and the rains descent. All these things take place with no regard for the feelings of the common people. But I believe that surely you understand what they must endure. It seems that perhaps now you can appreciate my feelings on all of this. In which case, perhaps you would be willing to reconsider your stance? You will? Really? Naturally.
All right, bravo, my lady. You were right all along.
See? I told you she wouldn't reject them. I'd placed my trust in the right person after all. Now then, given that the remainder of our discussion pertains to matters of a more confidential nature, perhaps we could move to the Komori tea house? We ought not to involve other members of the Yash.
Well, here we are again.
Please continue without me. I'll keep...
So, what's the deal with this place anyway? What makes it...
This is land that was gifted to the Yashiro Commission by the Shogun. The Kamisato clan has the exclusive right to plan, build, and repair any property on... Such privileges exist due to the Yashiro Commission's role in managing ceremonial affairs. Oftentimes, it is not appropriate to discuss details in front of bystanders.
Oh, Paimon gets it!
Once the number of ceremonial affairs conducted in the city began to decline, our forebears built a tea house here.
Makes sense. Perfect place for us.
In any case, we can talk freely here. Of course. We have tried on numerous occasions. Unfortunately, each time a proposal to repeal the decree arrives at Tenshukaku, they invariably adopt a stance of unconditional support for the... It almost makes one wonder whether they had a hand in the Shogun's sudden decision to issue the Vision Hunt decree. The issue is this. For the vast majority of people, the Vision Hunt decree is some... After all, it is but a tiny minority of people who receive visions. Because of this, the attitude of...
How can they be like that?
Nevertheless, in addition to us, there is also the
Resistance? You mean like an army?
Yes. Many who have lost or fear losing their visions have rallied together under Sangonomiya on what to say a little more about Sangonomiya. Historically, there has always been some conflict between, but I do wonder whether there may be some other agenda behind their resistance movement. The almighty Shogun. I've seen her on but only a few occasions. Most of them formal. She inspires awe, commands respect, and exudes a sense of absolute authority.
У меня вопрос, почему она, скажем так, тусуется на земле?
Else about her that struck me
Ведь,
even more deeply.
ну хотя Джун Ли-то у нас был, но нет, он тоже архонт был.
It was her almost complete lack of any emotion. In that sense,
Типа, он же был где-то там. Вентиль тоже спустился, чтобы дракона исцелить, а этот-то что-то
focused
сидит.
exclusively on her single goal of implementing eternity, acting accordingly with. Oh? Well,
Have you got a plan yet to fight the Vision Hunt decree?
to be honest, we do not.
What?
Please, do not forget that challenging the Vision Hunt decree is tantamount to. Well, for the moment, all we can do is try and reduce the harm that is being caused. For example, by providing vision bearers with safe refuge, or manufacturing counterfeit visions for them as a contingency measure.
You're telling Paimon that they're...
Don't underestimate the talents of the craftspeople in Hanamizaka. To the naked eye, their counterfeits are indistinguishable from the problem we are facing right now is that Master Masakatsu, who is providing us with counterfeit visions, has recently been...
Darn! So they...
Yes. We knew it was not a long-term solution, and that it was only a matter of time before it would be exposed. But we can... Exactly. I feel the same way. But given mine and Toma's identities as part of the Yashiro Commission, breaking him out of prison would risk dragging down the reputation of the entire
Естественно.
By no means do we. When you are ready, go to Hanamizaka and look for a fireworks shop run by the Nagano Har.
Который будет бегать и стрелять фейерверками, надеюсь. Так, нет. Хорош ты сегодня. Надо завязывать.
Luxury, but I love listening to the rain from the courtyard.
И куда это нас отправляют? То есть это все... Не, подожди. Это что-то не то. Это не тот. Здравствуйте, Ксения. Да, это не то. Это уже другой квест у нас. Нам вот сюда надо. Ну один хрен, это тоже тут недалеко. В общем, дорогие мои друзья. А ты еще чаще к нам приходи, Ксения. Много чего нового. В общем-то, дорогие мои друзья, на этом я предлагаю остановиться. Многое мы прошли. Все-таки мы добрались до этого прекрасного региона. Тут красиво, шикарно. Я прям писаюсь. Не представляю, что со мной будет в Сумеру, но ладно. В общем-то, дорогие мои друзья, на этом мы останавливаемся. Волшебники, когда не опаздывают, не приходят вовремя. Ага. На этом мы останавливаемся. Всем, кто присутствовал, огромное спасибо. Всем удачи. Всем пока-пока.